So what's up guys? Today I'm gonna teach you guys how to make a randomly generated tile scrolling system. So let's get right into it. And then here's the thing, we only need one sprite. And I think we can name that tile. And then you're gonna draw your tiles because you need tiles to create tiles. And for my case, I really don't care how it looks like, but you might want to, put some effort in yours. First, create a, about this size. And then if you see it up here, it says 467 times 351. So the first one should be 480. That is the value you will want. So I'm getting 481 and 400. Yeah, there you go, 480. And then for the second value, you want 360 as your value. There you go. Now, the first one, you can do that, and then I'll duplicate that. And you know what? Let's just have like 5, type of tiles for today. The orange and yellow, green, and blue. Like that. So that's pretty cool. And that I'm pretty sure is all you need. And if you need more, you can have more. There's really not much of a problem there. And then when you go to event scale, when green flag is clicked, like always. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna show and set ghost effect to 100 because we don't need this thing to really show in our main one. Well, there is good things with this and bad thing with this. Bad thing, there's a tile limit of 300. And if you want other stuff, you probably can't even fit 300. So, but I am trying to upgrade this so there is no limit to the tile amount. So just wait for that video to come out. It's just going to be an upgrade video on this tile system. It's going to be pretty nice. Anyways, we're going to create a block. We can name it clone. And then we can add 2. We can name the first one height, name the second one width, which spells something like that. I'm pretty sure it's that. So let's click that row without screen refresh, click OK. And then, as I said, the limit is 300, and 15 times 20 is 300. So that should work really, really great. But first, what we're going to do is when green flag is clicked, because it's going to scroll, we need scroll X for all sprites and scroll Y for all sprites. And then we need no, 5 more variables. First one, ID for this sprite only. I1 for this sprite only. I2 for this sprite only. And tile X for this sprite only, and tile Y for the sprite only. Those are the 5 you would need. So we can hide all of those. None of them really has to show. And when green flag is clicked, what you're going to do is set scroll X and Y to 0. Now that's pretty simple. And now what we're going to do is get a forever loop, get an if statement. We can get a OR. This is optional. We can get an OR and get the keys you want to move around the tile thingy. You know what I mean. Let's get a key. I'm going to do both in this case. So up arrow and W, which is right over here. Up arrow or W, and you can duplicate that and duplicate these. So down arrow this time, and then right arrow and left arrow. Like that. And then we can switch this to S, which is right over here, and D, which is here, and A. So those are both arrow keys and the WASD keys. Now we can go to variables, get a change. We can fill up these with these change ones. For the DNA, we can do scroll X for WNS, we can do scroll Y, like so. And then you can put like 25 is good enough for me, so I'll put that value in. And then that's basically it for that. And the only thing left is this, which is the most complicated part. Or maybe not, but I think this is the complicated part. And then I actually forgot this, but we can fill that up later. We can do the clone block first. And then before we do, we need one list actually, and we can name that costumes. And this will store the costume values of the clones. There you go. And it shouldn't be too hard to upgrade this. You should just be able to like stamp rather than clone. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we can delete all of costumes before we start cloning things. And then we can set our ID value to 0. So ID equals 0, and we can set our I2 to 0, 2. And then we can get a repeat loop, put it right over here. Get a subtracted by. So height subtracted by 1, like so. We can set I1 to 0. And we can get a repeat loop. Once again, we can duplicate this, get rid of the height block, replace it with the width block. And then we can, let's see, go to variables, get a change. We can change I2 by 1, like that, which is good. And then we can change ID by 1 each time. And then we can set tile X, which is right over here. And we can go to operators, get a multiply thingy. And then you can go again, get I1. And then 240, which is the half of this entire, view screen, the viewing screen. We can duplicate that, set it to tile Y, and then change this to I2, and then set this to 180. And then we can go ahead and add and pick random 1 to 5. And then after that, we can create clone of myself and change I1 by 1. That is all for the clone block, and I'm pretty sure that that is the hardest because there's nothing hard in this one, and this is the last one. So with this, what we can do is clear graphic effects, and then we can switch costume to item and ID of costumes. Now the thing is, you don't need a show block since it's already shown. It just has a ghost effect 100, and when it's cloned, it has the same effect as its main sprite does. So we just have to clear our ghost effect, and that's all it's gonna need. And then you can set it to size that is good for you. And for me, I'm just gonna do 50. Oh, and I forgot to explain that these are 240 and 180 because my size is 50. It's actually supposed to be 480 and 360 for your size 100. If you decide to set your size to 50, you can shrink that down to 240 and 180, which is the exact half of the values that was here before. So, my size is in half, so that has to be in half. That's how you calculate these. So if you want a different size, you have to change these two values. So now we can get a forever loop, and we can set our size to a big value. In my case, I'm going to do 200. And what now I'm going to do is go to and operators, subtract, and subtract 1 again. Tile X and tile Y, like that. And we can get scroll X and scroll Y. And then there is one code left. Get a set size to block. We can set that to 50. And that should be it. Now you can just, start it off and testing things like that. But there is one problem. For S, we gotta do -25, and for I think it's A, we can set that to -25. So now if we go again, we can actually control it like that. That looks pretty good to me. So it's randomly generated. You can look around. If we click the green flag, we see the orange there, green, yellow, blue, stuff like that. And we click it again, we see red, red, blue, yellow. It'll be random generated every single time, which is pretty good. This could be used in many, many ways. So I want you guys to play around with that. It's gonna be pretty nice. I'm using this for my. I will use this because since I didn't actually get this onto that project yet, it's like the civilization testing, which is just a randomly generated map, and there are tiny people thingies that'll just walk around and do stuff, and you get to watch it, and that'll just develop stuff. You know what I mean? There's enemies that they have to defend against. I mean, it's complicated. I like just started like right now, and I didn't really work on it for past like a month so, and I'm just getting back to it and stuff. So anyways, that doesn't really matter. It's not for the video anyways. So if you enjoyed that, please hit that subscribe button and like button. If you didn't, just still hit that subscribe button and like button because it helps me out a lot. If you don't get what I mean, just hit that subscribe button and the like button. And I'll see you in the next tutorial. Peace.